Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the segment that pays the fantasy bills. I'm Mike Cardano, the personal advisor to the most interesting man in the world, here to talk some fantasy football, helping you get ready for your draft day. Now, with me on the line at the scene of the crime as we speak is a fantasy analyst beyond reproach, Mr. Nando Fino. Mr. Fino, how the hell are you today?
Mr. Cardano, I'm wonderful. How are you?
All right, hanging in there. You ready for some football?
Always.
All right, now you'll not only find Nando here on the Fantasy Sports Network, you can also listen to his dashing and debonair voice on the Roto Experts in the Morning Fantasy Funhouse from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio Sirius 210 XM87. Now, Nando, I've been hearing rumors that you were related to or a descendant in some way to the guy I provide fantasy advice for, the Dos Equis guy. So let's hear it straight from the source. Any truth to that rumor?
No, in fact, as a fellow beard wearer, we resent that kind of stereotyping that we're all related.
All right. Today we're talking rookie wide receivers. Now, I've got four guys that are all bunched together with positional ADPs between 34 and 46, according to fantasypros.com. So let's get right to it, and we're going to start with Sammy Watkins in Buffalo. Now, my first question is does he have a quarterback that can consistently get him the ball?
I think he does. And if you go back to last year, and I know people don't like him in the preseason, but if you saw what Manuel did last year when he was healthy, and when Robert Woods was healthy, they made some beautiful music together. I think he's more than capable, EJ Manuel, of getting the ball to Sammy Watkins. My only concern is that he's going to hit Mike Williams a lot, and he's going to hit my personal favorite Robert Woods a lot, and it's just going to be spread around to too many people for Watkins to justify where he's going right now.
So with a positional ADP of 34 and an overall ADP of 90, over or under for you?
I'm going to go, wait, now if I say over, that means you should go later, right?
Yes.
Then I'm going to say over.
You're going to say over. Okay, all right. Let's move on to the next guy on the list, my personal favorite, mostly because he's a little guy, Brandin Cooks, the Saints. He's got a positional ADP of 37, an overall ADP of 103. Now, there's no questions about his quarterback. Do you have any questions about his height? He's about 5'10", 185, soaking wet. Any questions there?
No, I'm not worried about that. I was a big fan of Ryan Poyles last year. He's not a big dude. He just got injured all the time. So the size doesn't really matter too much to me.
Well, did he get injured all the time because he was a small dude?
I'm not qualified to answer that question, Mike.
You're not Dr. Roto. Okay. All right, well, now he was a prolific receiver at Oregon State. He was the best receiver in the nation last year. Obviously, there are no questions about his quarterback. Where do you see him, over or under on the 37 for his ADP?
I think he's going to finish over. I feel like we went through this last year with Kenny Stills on the exact same team. And, the year before with Lance Moore. It just seems like always a Saints receiver who everyone thinks is going to blow up and never quite does. So I'm going to go over.
Now, Stills is in his second season. Do you like Stills better than Cook this year? Same quarterback, same system, different sides of the field.
I think I do like Cooks a little more. I don't really have any justification or reason behind it other than he's kind of a different look for that New Orleans offense, being a tinier fella that maybe could cause some troubles for secondaries. But, besides that, it's just kind of subjective. I like Cooks a little better.
All right, let's move on to Mike Evans down in Tampa with a positional ADP of 41 and an overall ADP of 120. Now, do you think he was a product of Johnny Manziel? Do you think he'll be able to use his size like he did in college?
I think it's going to be interesting. Personally, I think he'll be able to use his size, but at the same time, I can see Timothy Wright kind of going into wide receiver sets, and I can see Austin Seferian-Jenkins, maybe nudging his way into that tight end picture. So, Evans on one side and Timothy Wright on the other, and Austin Seferian-Jenkins catching passes. That could be a very dangerous setup there to complement Vincent Jackson, who's also a big dude. It's a scary proposition. I think he'll benefit from that.
All right.
He's learned from a lot of them.
Yeah. All right, last we have here is Kelvin Benjamin with a positional ADP of 46, 135 overall. Now, his quarterback has dropped like an ADP rock, Cam Newton. So how does that factor into how you look at him? And, are all 11 people on the other side of the ball going to be covering him? Is that going to be a problem? Because who else are they going to throw the ball to? I mean, they have a tight end, but I don't think Jericho Cotchery is going to catch another 10 touchdowns. I wouldn't think.
At a certain point, I think you just got to go for it. And Benjamin's probably my favorite of this group so far that you've mentioned, even though, and I mean like straight up. I mean, I wouldn't say I would take him ahead of Watkins or anyone, but I would not take the other guys because I love Benjamin so much. I think they're still going to throw him the ball. I think he has enough talent to at least fight through a lot of the coverage. It's kind of an ugly proposition for him right now, and it's probably not the best situation for a rookie wide receiver to be in, but he's got a ton of talent. He's probably going to be the number one target. And Cam Newton's ADP being loaded up on, I mean, that's stupid. Cam Newton's going to be fine. His ankle's going to be better. It's one of those things where I think people are sleeping on Benjamin and Cam Newton concurrently.
So you like the kind of guys with the dreadlocks hanging out of the helmet. You like Watkins and Benjamin best out of these four.
Oh yeah, always been open about that, Mike.
All right, so go ahead and rank them for me. Rank the four.
I rank the four overall in real life how they'll finish.
Yeah.
I would put Benjamin, Watkins, Evans, Cooks.
Interesting. Dissing the little guy. All right. That's Nando Fino, everyone. Nando, thank you for some rookie receiver fantasy words of wisdom.